the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee is very powerful to investigate wrongdoing, anomalies. Now, you were the one who exposed that Sara Diskaya actually owned 9 construction firms, and all her firms bid for the same project. So, ang unang is that against the law?
It is not transparent at all, Karen. Lalo na kung isang pamilya, interlocking directorates, kung hindi man siya, kung hindi man yung asawa niyang si Pacifico Diskaya, kung hindi man yung mga pamangkin nila at kamag-anak from both sides of the family ang may-ari. These 9 companies, at pinakita ko yung calling cards ni Curly Diskaya at in-acknowledge ni Sara Diskaya, kanila nga yun. These 9 companies, lumabas nga, actually bid against each other. So, win or lose ang anyone na kumpanya nila, sila pa rin ang panalo in the end. And imagine to have captured hundreds, been awarded hundreds of projects in the magnitude of hundreds of billions of pesos. Iisang group of companies lamang. Tapos sila rin ang notorious na lumalabas na either substandard or ghost or anomalous projects. So that would, even on its face, really appear to be against the law.
Okay. Now, how could Sara Diskaya, how could she have been doing this for, she said that their business actually with the DPWH started to fly 2016.
That's right.
The construction company started 2012. So let's give or take, they've been doing this for more than 10 years.
That's right.
So how did they get away with 9 companies, all owned by one family, bidding against the same projects? Saan yung collusion, Senator? Ikwento po ninyo.
Yan, yung collusion, isa pang favorite word ni Senator Ping throughout this investigation so far. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang sa level ng mga contractors. Kahit pa yung pinaka-infamous tulad ng mga Diskaya, tinawag nga ng PCIJ silang mag-asawa na king and queen of flood control projects. The collusion, therefore, has more layers than just that one of the contractors na dapat papanagutin. The collusion, obviously, probably includes people from within the DPWH. And last but not the least, the collusion probably includes people working in government, whether in Congress or the regulatory bodies like PCAB, departments like the DPWH itself, na dapat are overseeing the project execution of these budgeted projects.
Now, there is a Philippine Contractors Association,
No,
right?
isa pa yun, yung
Yeah,
PCAB.
they attended. Should they be policing their own? Their own. That's
Their
it.
own. And
Yeah.
that yung their own na yan, that hits very close to home to them. Dahil lumabas sa Blue Ribbon hearing namin, sila mismo palang mga commissioners sa PICAB ay mga contractor din. So unang pasok pa lang, may conflict of interest doon, di ba? We've said that about various agencies. Mahirap, problematic kapag yung nagpo-promote or nag-i-implement ng proyekto o programa, siya rin dapat ang regulator. Medyo, paano mo ipupulis yung sarili mong may interest ka? And apparently, that is also the situation for PICAB. So, kung hindi nila na i-inhibit yung sarili nila na may conflict of interest, baka kaya siguro nagkukulang talaga sila sa pag-monitor, pag-supervise, pag-control sa mga contractors who are supposed to be under their watch at ngayon nag-figure dito sa mga flood control scams na ito.
Now, a shocking admission is from the lower house and the Senate as well, is the DPWH district engineers admitting that in effect, they are signing these projects as complete.
Yes.
Physically seeing them.
I know, right? And sounds familiar na nung sinabi nila yon at tinanong ko, I think it was to the DPWH NCR regional director, na bakit dalawa lang sa 254 flood control projects sa Quezon City, ay inireklamo ni Mayor Joy, yun lamang ang ikino-ordinate sa City Hall. And DPWH NCR said, kasi may mga proyekto, wala pang go signal, nagpo-proceed. And at the end of the line, yung mga hindi pa nakikita with their own eyes, nasasabing completed. You know, that reminded me of a moment in the Farmally investigation.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Na yung mga nasa ano nga ba ito, yung isang naging notorious na office ay umamin na they sign off on having received certain imported pandemic supplies kahit hindi pa nga nakararating, so imposible nakita nila. So bad habit, no, bad practice that seems to be permeating the bureaucracy na dapat ay nagbabantay.
So what can be done? I mean, first holistically, because it seems that the Philippines is personality dependent, right?
Too much.
You have a DPWH Secretary, Vince Dizon. People are hoping that he would make the change. But the problem, he's only there for 3 years. Ang dali na bang ibalik ng lumang sistema? Senator, what changes should be made in the process of government so that this happens, this won't happen again, regardless who sits, who is secretary?
3 years is still, though a brief time, it is still a long time. Pwede ka talagang magsimula ng mga reforma kahit magpatuloy na yan o makumpleto yan in the next administrations. Kami sa Kongreso, we have a golden opportunity again, a rare second chance, ayusin pa yung aming budget process para dun pa lamang sa budget making, bawasan o i-eliminate na yung mga possibilities of corruption, collusion, no, yung pag-corona pa ng mga kings and queens ng kung ano-ano pa, by, very meticulous budget making in coordination with the executive. Kaya yung pagbubukas hindi lamang ng BICAM but every incarnation of the eventual final budget, importanteng simulan na namin this year. Kahit halimbawa, itong taon, 2025 for the 2026 budget, simulan namin na open NEP, no? And then next year, can we make sure open NEP and GAB hanggang sa 2027 deliberations for the 2028 budget, siguruhin namin na open budget all the way up to BICAM and GAA. DPWH at yung ating mga departments at saka attached agencies, gawin nila ng mahigpit yung mandato nila. DPWH, I asked them at sabi ng resource person, go, na pwede bang doble gastos, doble daños. Kung people got the short end of the stick from contractors in terms of construction and repair, dapat doble din ang penalties nila, ang compensation nila to the public. They should cover those costs at no cost to government. Sabi din ng DPWH, go daw sila dun sa one strike policy, zero tolerance. Minsang may mapatunayang anomalous na contractor, blacklisted na siya forever.
So like this Kaya, for example, no, they got billions and billions and they've cornered a bulk of the infra flood control projects. She said in the Senate, wala kaming ghost project. So I'm curious, kasi Senator, could that be possibly true? Hindi ghost, pero substandard.
Diba? And what is worse, I don't know kung alin ang mas tahol.
Pero diba? Kasi she said it factual na she didn't blink an eye. Wala kaming ghost. Diba?
That bears investigation. At kung mapatunayan na may ghost projects man sila, may substandard projects man sila, may overpriced projects man sila, I think it's also a good first step na yung sham na construction companies nila kinanselahan na ng license to operate.
Pero kung kinanselahan na ng license to operate, how do we move forward if the DPWH, di ba ideally what the DPWH should do is give a list of all the flood control projects in the Philippines and then give us the status, di ba? Ito tapos, completed. Ito substandard, gawa ito ng ganitong contracting company. Can the DPWH order the contracting company finish this according to the contract that we've agreed upon?
For sure, they can and they should. A step in the right direction in that same spirit, yung isumbong sa Pangulo website, dapat sundin yan, ipagpatuloy yan ng DPWH dahil maraming mamamayan ay pwedeng mag-input dyan, mag-participate dyan. Binanggit din yan ng DBM sa DBCC hearing that they're going to institutionalize that practice to enable citizens to upload their own photos or updates about projects in their localities. Yung sinimulan din namin sa Senado, no, it's like a kind of site also na pwedeng ding mag-monitor ang ating mga mamamayan sa buong budget process. So these are steps finally in the right direction na dapat ma-institutionalize, and those could well go beyond a mere 3 years. Those could go into the next or all the next administrations.
Now, Senator, what do you think of feedback? There's criticism that the focus on Diskaya is actually a misdirection for the bigger fish. The bigger fish being Zaldico, his brother Christopher Co. I mean, they were, Zaldico is still in Congress. Christopher Co was once in Congress. They were the founders of 2 of the 15 contractors that were named by President Marcos Jr., SunWest and High Tone. Ang sinasabi ng ilan, etong focus kay Sara Diskaya actually exonerates the real focus, which is Zaldico, who put in 13 billion, as Representative Tiangco claims, 13 billion in insert niya for DPWH projects. And where is he now? Kumbaga, what do you think of that train of thought, Senator?
Tingin ko, Karen, at this point in time, this is too big and wide open already for any distraction, misdirection, or exoneration for anyone. Tingin ko sa atensyon na na-raise na ng website ng Office of the President, nitong site na binuksan sa Senate, yung privilege speech ni Senator Ping, sa atensyon na nag-garner ng mga ito, ng ating mga kababayan at ng mga netizens, I think it's way past being able to focus on only one or even a few. Tingin ko yung public mood is make everyone who is accountable, and put those painful but necessary lessons to work for the people, for government, for the budget process moving forward. So palagay ko mangyayari yung sinasabi ng mas marami na dapat may mga malalaki na dapat singilin, at kung talagang mapatunayan na guilty, masingil, maparusahan para maturuan ng lahat ng leksyon.
Pero ang SunWest at High Tone at ang iba pa, Senator, ipapatawag din po yun, no? Will the Senate be speaking to all 15 contractors that the President mentioned?
I'm sure it's in the mind of my colleagues here at the Senate na dahil yung press conference na yan or speech na yan ni Presidente about the top 15 also helps start this big ball rolling again of indignation ng mga mamamayan laban sa korupsyon, na it's in the mind of colleagues to call all those who have been named so far in whatever forum.